I'd now like to turn it over to Tony Dutzik. Tony is the Associate Director and Senior Policy Analyst at Frontier Group. Tony has been a leader on transportation and energy policy for close to a decade and has been quoted in media outlets from the New York Times to National Public Radio. Tony, let me hand it off to you.
Thank you, Johanna. It's great to be here. I am going to share my screen. This is always the moment of truth to see if this works. So good afternoon. As Johanna mentioned, I work with Frontier Group. We are a research and public policy organization whose mission is to provide information and ideas to build a cleaner, healthier America. And the dashboard that we're releasing today is the latest in a series of annual reports that we've produced since 2017, tracking the progress of renewable energy across the country and in the States. Now, the growth of renewable energy in America is often portrayed as a national story, but it's really a mosaic of state stories. And I want to take a couple of minutes to use the dashboard to illustrate some of the key state stories that we are seeing in this year's data, and also to provide you with an idea of how you can use the dashboard to explore and tell stories of your own. First, the national map shows that renewable energy is growing rapidly as a share of our electricity consumption. In 2012, North Dakota produced enough electricity from the wind, the sun, and the earth to cover 36% of its electricity consumption, and that was the highest in the country. But by 2021, there were 7 states that were producing enough wind, solar, and geothermal energy to cover at least half of their in-state electricity consumption, with the leading state being South Dakota with 72%, and Iowa not being all that far behind. Now, down below the national map, there are a series of interactive charts and dashboards that allow you to explore the progress of individual technologies: wind energy, solar energy, electric vehicle sales, and the expansion of electric vehicle charging, energy savings from electricity from utility energy efficiency programs, and battery storage capacity connected to the grid. This year's data show that traditionally leading clean energy states continue to set a high bar for progress. California, for example, has long been a national leader in wind energy and solar energy and in the rollout of electric vehicles. But one thing that we see in this year's data is a rapid increase in the amount of grid-connected battery storage that is connected to the electric grid. That is a result of some commitments and investments that the state of California has made just in recent years. And not only is California the #1 state in the country for battery storage capacity, but its capacity far outweighs that of the second leading state, Texas, which itself is seeing significant growth in battery energy storage. And not only is this critical for supporting the next wave of renewable energy development in the states, ensuring that we can support more clean energy on the grid, but it's also beginning to pay real dividends, as energy storage was a key factor in California's ability to avoid blackouts during the massive heat wave of a few weeks ago. But it's not just leading clean energy states where there are interesting stories to tell. In fact, we're also seeing states that have, for many years, been left out of the clean energy transition beginning to show up in a real way. In states like South Carolina, which again, up until about 2016, 2017, had barely any solar energy at all, you're starting to see steady, significant growth in solar energy deployment. And that's also true of other states in the Southeast, like Georgia and Virginia, which we can compare using the tool. And for now, the penetration of renewable energy in those states is still relatively small. It's only a few percent. But what it does show is that this rapid growth suggests that there really is a place for all 50 states in America's clean energy transition. Now, the Renewables on the Rise dashboard provides policymakers and reporters with access to information that will help you to understand trends within your own state and across states. But we also think that there are some ways that this could be useful information for the general public as well. So let's say, hypothetically, you live in South Carolina. you have an electric vehicle, you're looking to move somewhere in the country, and you want to see, how quickly is the state that I'm considering moving to rolling out electric vehicle charging. You can actually do that to evaluate different states and their trajectory in electric vehicle charging using the tool. Repowering America with Clean Energy is a 50-state project, and the Renewables on the Rise dashboard highlights the impressive achievements of longtime clean energy leaders and also shows promising signs of growth in states all across the country. It's important to remember, though, that the rapid growth of clean energy across America is no accident. It's largely due to years of public policies at the local, state, and federal level that have incentivized and sparked the growth of clean energy. At the bottom of the dashboard, we have a few suggestions for how local, state, and federal governments can continue to build on that momentum, going toward a future of 100% clean and renewable energy. And while it's worthwhile for us to note and celebrate the progress that's been made so far, let's be clear that that future of clean and renewable energy can't come fast enough. The climate crisis and also the impact of fossil fuel consumption on our health and well-being demands that we move faster. The Inflation Reduction Act, as the next speakers will discuss, is a big step forward in achieving that clean energy future, but there's still more work to do. States will need to implement key aspects of the IRA, and individuals, businesses, and communities will need to take advantage of its provisions to replace fossil fuel-powered equipment with clean energy. Moreover, state and local policy leadership will continue to be critical in fueling the clean energy transition, including ambitious goal setting like that of the 10 states that have already committed to achieving 100% clean or renewable electricity. With continued strong policy commitments from local, state, and federal governments, I hope that someday soon we will be able to look back at this map and see a country that is powered entirely by clean and renewable energy sources, helping us to address the climate crisis and also protect our environment and health. Thank you very much.